welcome to the Destin Business Forum, brought to you by the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Amy Perry, and my guest today is Wes Fontaine, attorney at Dowd Law Firm.
Recently, yes. I just joined their team, and I'm happy to be there and happy to be here with you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, I haven't seen you.
And what a day to be here. We're talking real estate, right? Habitat was here, Newman Daily was here, so let's talk about closing those real estate transactions.
Look at you, look at you. Okay, so give me just a 1 or 2 minute background on you. What did you do before this?
Okay.
I know you lived in the area, even though I never saw you.
Right, I was on the road.
Nobody ever saw you.
Yeah, there was a good reason. Nobody ever saw me. I felt like a stranger in my hometown. Right. So for the past 8 years, I've worked for national and regional title agencies. They work in a large territory with a minimal staff, and so that precipitated me being in my car almost all the time. So I was gone 3 weeks out of every month pretty much, out touring the entire state, which was a blessing. You know, I having grown up here in Destin, you become accustomed to a very small, close-knit community, yes. And you forget what it's like to do business in a large marketplace, a very diverse marketplace. You get used to interacting with different temperaments, attitudes, and different types of people, and it was great. I mean, I wouldn't have substituted that experience for anything.
A lot of good experience.
Absolutely.
Now you're back.
I am happily back. I get to sleep in my own bed every night. It's great.
And I know your dog really likes
it. My dog is so happy about it. I assume she's happy about it. Maybe she's ready for me to leave and hit the road.
Yeah, she might be. Hey, when are you leaving? Okay, so at Dowd, what were you brought in to do?
Well, at the Dowd Law Firm, they used to have a very robust title and settlement practice. With the crash, they scaled their operation back like a lot of people did.
Sure.
I think they're seeing some really positive signs in our real estate market, and they're ready to grow and be a robust title and settlement operation again. And it only makes sense. They've got such a wealth and depth of talent on the real estate side in their law firm. Mm-hmm. They just need an extra hand on deck to help grow that title and settlement practice back. So that was what I was brought in to do.
Got it. And to do that, what do you do? What's your plan?
Excellent. Well, let's share my plan. Well, I think I would be remiss if I didn't start with people who had done business with the firm in the past. Let's go back and revisit the folks who are still active in our marketplace, who used to do business with us, and let's just let them know we're here again. We're staffing back up. We're ready. Let's reestablish our relationship. So first order of business is touch all of the people that we've ever done business with, those at least that are still in the marketplace. Okay. And then after that, I'm employing what I learned working with you all those years ago, the value. Yeah, I did learn something. No, I learned a lot of great things there. But really the one thing that I've taken away was the value of being a part of your community. Get involved with business organizations like the Chamber. Get involved with community organizations. Embed yourself. And there is no better business development resource than being a part of your own community. If people see you working side by side with them on some exterior goal, then you'll develop a bond and a level of trust, and they will be more apt to bring you their business if they know and trust you.
Got it.
And I know that sounds a bit self-serving to go do those things to build relationships, but the side benefit is you get such a great feeling of contributing to your community.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win.
I actually got a piece of advice when I worked at your firm that I use to this day. I tell it to everyone that I work with, and it's such a short and simple phrase, but it is, the world is run by the people who show up. And I didn't get that at first. I didn't understand what that meant until I saw it in action. I started attending chamber meetings, didn't even speak up. Sometimes I was in the back of the room, but you keep showing up, you're a consistent presence, and soon people start to rely on you, and you get drafted onto boards, you get put in leadership positions, and I was amazed to watch that organic process play out. And like I say, I still use that piece of advice every single day.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, so the firm is gearing up, they brought you in, that's to me pretty serious. I would assume that they, as well as you, think that the real estate market is getting hotter.
They do. So a lot of external indicators. As you ride down the street, you can see a lot of new construction going on in our area. The lenders are getting a lot more active. Mm-hmm. Personally, on a personal level, I live up in Crestview on the north end of the county, and I see a lot of new construction out in areas that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be the first to bounce back. So I figure if I'm seeing them out in my deepest reaches of Okaloosa County, then I think it's reasonable to assume that the market is spiraling up. So I did some research, pulled some numbers out of eCar to verify my hunch, and sure enough, I mean, the numbers are impressive on a year-over-year basis. We're really seeing some activity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the real estate. What else does the Dowd Law Firm do?
They're a full-service law firm. They've been in the area for, well, as the Dowd Law Firm for 20 years. Started by John Dowd Jr. His father, John Dowd Sr., is of counsel to the firm. He's been in the area practicing for over 40 years. He was, in fact, the Okaloosa County attorney for 40 years. From 1973 to 2014, he was the attorney for Okaloosa County. So lots of good local roots. They're full service, so any practice area you can imagine, they've got a specialist to handle real estate, litigation, family law, criminal law, estate planning. Essentially, if you can come up with
you can do it or need it.
if you need it, we've got it.
That's a good slogan, I think.
It is. And what I was really impressed by was not only the local roots of the founders of the firm, but the attorneys they brought in are local. With only one exception, they're all local. By that I mean Okaloosa County lifelong residents. There's one guy who's not. He's from Orlando, so we're going to count him because he's a Florida native, which is, well, it's relatively rare to find only Florida natives these days, because over the last 20 years we've had such an influx of transplants, visitors coming to stay, and why wouldn't you stay? I mean, it was the reason I moved back from Atlanta. I was sitting in Atlanta one day in 2003, and I thought, why am I doing this? I could live at the beach. Let's do that.
Yeah. Atlanta has its pluses, but it's nice. Every time I come back, it's nice.
Well, you can go there for an event. They have a lot going on, and then quickly retreat back to the beauty and safety of the beach.
Exactly. That's what I think of every time I drive across one of the bridges back home. It's like, this is beautiful here, and it's, to me, a lot safer than usually where I've gone. So the Orlando guy, you make him sit in a different office with a hat on, with the big O on it, Orlando. But local people, which is great, community involvement, gearing up in the real estate market. They brought you in, so they mean business.
They mean business.
Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
I have about 30 seconds, so that's always my last question.
So if you've done business with us in the past, if you've closed a deal with the Dowd Law Firm, know that you're on my radar and you will be getting a visit from me.
All right.
And if you want to be proactive and reach out first, that saves me some time and effort too, and that would be great.
Cool. All right. Moving right along to Chamber upcoming events. Thursday, August 25th, BAH at Embassy Suites Miramar Beach from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's $5 for members and $20 for non-members. Tuesday, September 13th, the Leaders in Business Luncheon, sponsored by White Wilson. That is at 11:30 to 1 p.m. at Destin United Methodist Church. $20 for members and $30 for non-members. Thursday, September 22nd, the Business After Hours is sponsored by Brutella Seafood House and Steamer. $5 per member and $20 for non-members. Save the date for the 4th Bourbon at the Bay, sponsored by Smileology. It's at Regatta Bay Golf and Yacht Club, Thursday, November 17th. Bourbon, Scotch, and champagne tastings. Sponsorships and tickets are available now. Thursday, December 15th, the Destin Chamber 50th anniversary celebration, that's a new date, December 15th, sponsored by Fort Walton Beach Medical Center and Twin Cities Hospital. VIP reception is sponsored by Trustmark National Bank, and the gala is sponsored by Newman Daily Resort Properties and Dale E. Peterson Vacations. See you next time.